No token is pumped harder than Sonic, formerly known as Phantom. It is up 8.6% in the last 24 hours, and it is up over 60% in the last week. But still, this token is at a fraction of the price of where it was last cycle. When we look at 2021, this token was over $8 billion. And given its action as of late, this token looks like it could go even higher, especially when we're looking at this particular price action. And we're going to look at these charts in just a second, but first thing we need to cover, folks, is the bridge action. So Sonic is a new EVM chain. It's taking all the attention in crypto right now, and the money is pouring into Sonic. And when we look at the base, Solana, Ethereum, BNB, and Arbitrum ecosystems, you can just see nothing but net inflows heading into Sonic, and that means people are using bridges and pulling funds from one blockchain and putting the funds on another blockchain. And so if you're wondering why is big money flowing out of some of these strong ecosystems like Solana, like Base, and flowing into Sonic? Isn't it just the flash in the pan? Well, maybe not. So this is Bim. He's an ex-dev and researcher, and he was deep in the Phantom ecosystem. So Phantom rebranded to Sonic. And if you're wondering how it worked, it was a one-to-one swap. And so it was just a complete reset. They swapped the Phantom one-for-one for the Sonic token and launched the mainnet back in December of last year. But the TVL has skyrocketed. The TVL got as low as $60 million with a wild $7 billion peak in valuation. And if you look at the TVL now, it is over $585 million. This is about 24 hours old. It's probably over $600-700 million by this point. Wait a minute, there's actually a way we could check it out. I just typed it into DeFi Llama. It is 841 million. So we're seeing the TVL just continue to skyrocket on Sonic. But here's what's going on. So the Phantom ecosystem is what hooked this developer. It was a DeFi mess, but it was his kind of mess. But by 2024, it was a ghost town. You could tell with the only $60 million in total value locked. But Sonic is picking up where Phantom left off. They got a $120 million fund nudging projects over. Also, they've tossed 200 million Sonic tokens to devs and users. Now, that doesn't mean anything if you don't know the token price. It's right under $1. So when they said they spent 200 million Sonic tokens, you're basically looking right under $200 million on top of the $120 million. Looking at massive ecosystem bootstrapping event here. And so this is where it gets very speculative, but in a good way. Right now, over 60 decentralized apps are live now. This is the alpha, with an Aave v3 deployment very likely to happen soon. Now, this guy's a dev. He is plugged into the ecosystem. The only inside information is what I'm sharing here. Looks like the governance proposal is in the final stages. Now, Aave, very bullish, adding Sonic. The reason why? Well, Donald Trump is a buyer of Aave. And so if Aave is working with Sonic, maybe that is going to mean a lot of regulatory clarity and regulatory green lights from the Trump administration. And so this is one of the main reasons I'm bullish on Sonic is, aligning themselves with the power players in crypto. Now, you can play the DeFi casino on Sonic. They highlight a lot of DeFi apps. Silo is going to be one of them. Beats Fi is going to be another one. Sonic Assistant, is going to kind of just give you a lot of alpha here. But you might be a little bit careful with an Aave deployment around the corner. I think Aave is probably going to be the biggest player. But in the meantime, there's a lot of money to be made on some of these projects there. But you got to be watching it. You can't set it and forget it. Aave might deploy, then, the TVL just shrinks on some of these other tokens. So watch these tokens carefully if you are going to try to get some Sonic alpha. Now, before Aave arrives, Silo is the big lending platform on Sonic. When we go check out Silo, well, that token looks beaten down, and it looks beaten down in a major way. Looks like there's a lot of opportunity. But if you go to market cap, you can see, okay, well, it's at previous all-time highs, but it's still only a $60 million market cap. If you compare it to Aerodrome, which is, a similar protocol on base Ethereum instead of Sonic, well, you're looking at $600 million market cap. So you're looking at potential 10x if you go into some of these deeper DeFi protocols. But again, you got to be very careful for the Aave deployment, taking everyone's lunch money. Now, when we go to the month and we hit market cap, you can see there was a token deployment. And so folks, just do your due diligence. If you're looking at some of these Sonic tokens, you can go to DeFi Llama and then check out all the different protocols. But you can see right there, Silo Finance, the #1 protocol in Sonic. If you're using cold storage, don't use the bootleg products out there. Stick with the best so your portfolio is also going to be the best and the most secure out there. And we're talking about Arculus Cold Storage with their new sleek premium metal cards. They have all different types and styles: embedded, metal veneer, metal hybrid. Imagine the looks around the table when you slam down your 21-gram full metal cold storage card. Everyone's going to be in shock. Everyone's going to be in awe. And it's not just your portfolio bags, it's how you're securing it with the Arculus Cold Storage. Make sure you use code DC20 to save you 20%. Let's do a little price action now. This looks like a lot of stuff going on, so let me hide the fib extension. We'll check that out in a second. First, let's zoom out. Now, Sonic has insane price action in these charts. Like I said in the beginning of the video, looks like a little bit of a megaphone pattern potentially happening here. And a megaphone pattern, if you don't know what that is, basically just the megaphone continues and you get higher highs depending on the angle, potentially lower lows or higher lows. And so it looks like we got a nice little swing action happening here. And if it were to go to the top, we're looking at a nice 87% pump for Sonic. Let's just say it happens in the next couple months. If it happens in the next month, you're still looking at an 81% pump for Sonic. So keep an eye out on this trading range. Now let's go ahead and do a little Fibonacci extension here. So I want to go ahead and redraw it so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. We're going to go from the swing high to the swing low, and then we're going to go to the 4-hour candle, because right now we're using 3 days. So it looks like maybe paying attention to it a little bit. You go to the 4-hour, and you see the Fibonacci is being respected, pretty strongly in places here. You can see, kind of stuck in this range between the 618 and the 0.5, then kind of got stuck there, got stuck between the 382 and the 236. These are all just, classical technical patterns that people kind of are paying attention to. And you can see the 236 acted as resistance. Then we blasted through. So right now we're kind of at a make or break point. Are we going to fall down to the 382 or are we going to head up to the 618? If we head up to the 618, it's a $1.04 price target. If we head down to the 382, you're looking at around 76 cents Sonic. Now this is where I would be a buyer. I'm definitely going to be a buyer when I see it coming down to some of these low levels. So keep an eye out on that. But looking at the upper bands of this range, I wouldn't be surprised if we blast through $1.03. It's going to be a little bit of psychological resistance. It doesn't look like there's too much liquidity in these ranges. You can just see the coin kind of blasting through pretty quickly here. So I would expect the same thing. Once we turn this into support, expect a pretty quick move to the upside. So that's kind of the Sonic Alpha. That's my little bit of Sonic TA. Now, if you want to know how to buy Sonic, it is an EVM compatible chain. So if you have a MetaMask, you can just kind of add it to your MetaMask, kind of like how you have to add BNB chain, you have to add Arbitrum, you have to add Ape chain. I would recommend, you just go to Shadow Exchange. You can go to, maybe some of the trading pairs there. If you look at Shadow on CoinGecko, it will give you the actual trading pairs. You go there, you link your wallet, and then it'll go ahead and add EVM compatibility. So it'll add the Sonic compatibility to your wallet. So just something I would recommend. Check that out if you want to trade some Sonic. Check out the DeFi Llama protocols. Also, you can go to CoinGecko, and they have a Sonic ecosystem tab right there. And so that'll give you some of the alpha. You can see some of the coins trading. I think there's going to be a lot of upside. You look at the 7-day, there's a lot of coins that are up 100%, 200%. A lot of these DeFi protocols is not all meme coins out there, folks, but some of them are meme coins, that's for sure. And so keep an eye out on Sonic. It's one I'm not going to be sleeping on. You saw the SWE ecosystem turn to a hero from a zero. I think we might be seeing the same thing with Sonic. A lot of money is flowing into this ecosystem. So don't sleep on it. I'm DZ, and I'll see you in your Sonic bags at the top.